noticed something very interesting. The last 2 days or so, I've been having a bit of a problem with Vaush fans on Twitter. Apparently, when you call out Vaush for his pedo nonsense, they end up calling you a Nazi. Because Stone Toss put out a comic criticizing Vaush for the pedo stuff. It was Vaush saying, well, if you talk about Jews, like if you say you're not a Nazi, but you talk about Jews all the time, then you might be a Nazi, etc. And then it showed how Vaush was saying that, and then in the comic he goes back to, now let's get back to talking about lowering the age of consent. See, this is a valid criticism. If you don't like Stone Toss, that's irrelevant. This is a valid criticism. Vaush has said many very creepy things about underage people. I'm not even sure specifically boys or girls. But he has, arguing for lowering the age of consent, hitting on underage individuals, and God knows what we don't even know about that he's actually done. Well, you see, pointing that out makes Vaush's fans upset, and they, of course, have to call me a Nazi. Not me, anybody else who criticizes him. To the point where even one who, from his profile, if we assume his profile to be true, was somewhat of a black anarchist who said, "Oh, how about criticize Vaush? No mention of pedo tanky edition." Well, there's a lot of things I could criticize Vaush for, like the fact that he shit on black radicals and has tactical use of the N-word. I'd figure you, as a black anarchist, might have a problem with that. Evidently, you don't. And point two, being a pedo and saying really creepy shit like this and advocating pedo positions, that is enough in itself to be a problem. I don't think you understand that. Because you've got these blinders on that make you only see holy Vaush and how everybody else is bad. Just remember, there's something you very much would notice with Vaush. He's very good at attacking other people and calling them Nazis, but when it comes to touting his own positions, not very good at all. It's either creepy pedo stuff or whatever the Democratic Party is telling him to say. Or he's spouting racist nonsense that apparently is not worth acknowledging by Vaush's fans either. So this video is not directed at Vaush himself. He's already made it clear that he doesn't want to debate me. He refused to do so. Fine, he has every right to do so. This video is aimed at his fans, very much cultists, and you can tell the cultist mentality by ignoring all the things that you can criticize him for, and respond by reducing yourself to Godwin's law. And that is, call everybody a Nazi who disagrees with you. Because, of course, in the mind of such individuals of limited thinking ability, usually that on the level of a turnip, that the people who stopped the Nazis and stopped the Holocaust are somehow the same thing as those who do it. And the ideology that one group of people is superior to all others is somehow comparable to the ideology where everybody is equal is the same thing. And this shows not just Vaush's degenerate ideology, degenerate in that it is very much underdeveloped. It is very much not an ideology at all, but more of an emotional plea. It shows the lack of critical thinking skills held by Vaush's fans, as demonstrated from their behavior. And I notice that when you criticize Vaush for his pedoness, or you criticize his fans for just responding with everything with Nazi, 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 they bring up an anime studio. I believe you know the incident I'm talking about. To which I respond, get over it. There is a difference between making a joke about something that happened and literally calling for the sexualization of children. If you cannot see the difference between these two things, I can't really say anything that I haven't already said before. You have very limited thinking skills. or you have a very twisted way of looking at the world that your holier than thou hero Vaush cannot be criticized for his creepy behavior. Not just creepy, but racist as well. So, I know there's no point talking to Vaush fans, just that there's no point talking to a cultist. I feel that I have pretty much every right to feel indignant about this. About your unwavering desire to call everyone who disagrees with your racism and pedophilia as a Nazi. Because, kind of, ironic, given that the Nazis were into some really freaky shit and were experimenting with some really freaky shit, and they actually were the racists. It's kind of like that would actually be closer, at least in these two matters, to what Vaush actually is. And appropriately enough, what his fans are. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.